Hi everyone, Whisperow here. Welcome to episode 2 of TeamTORGA's Wurm Unlimited Server Tour. Today we'll be in Lakeside. Let me zoom in. So we're going to be starting on the docks, and then we're going to see Petrina and Steff. Okay, so let's go right in. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hello there.
So you can see we have Petrina and Steff. Okay, I'm just gonna hop on.
Sounds good.
Hi again. So I told our viewers that we're starting at the docks, so take it away.
Well, this is our town of Lakeside. We built. We actually one of the first things we built was actually the road coming down the hill here. Yeah, to the right. And then we, from there, we started building all the buildings, and we decided to fence everything in. Yeah, because the first time around we got the dragon, the champion dragon hatchling.
Yeah, I really like how you guys fenced in everything, so you have like free roaming animals like your deer and your dogs and stuff running around on your property.
Yeah, we got to get somebody to take care of these hedges for us, so see if we can get some Mexican illegals up here to cut them down.
Nope.
The hedges actually make nice walls without having to really put a lot of rock shards or a lot of work in there. So it's a nice, easy way of making walls for you, actually.
Except when you cut them all the way down, they aren't walls anymore. There's one of our dogs there, Snicker.
But yeah, another thing I wanted to mention is Steff has basically named every single one of their animals.
We built this orchard here. Oh, and this is our garage here.
The doors open up every time you go by each and every one of them.
But at one point we had a square in here for each and every tree type. I don't know if we still have that or not. And each and every bush. I forgot about the other ones. When we first moved in here, it was starting to get grown over by walnut trees, so we had to cut them back, and they still, as you can see, try to make their way into this area.
Yeah, you can see to our left there, it's still full of walnut trees.
This road here leads up to the top of the mountain here. We once called it Bull Mountain because it was just covered with bulls. But as you get, my brother moved up there and flattened off the top of the mountain and built a settlement up there. You can see the size of the road that he built.
Yeah, I'll try to do a separate episode if I ever make it up there. I mean, I will, it'll just be a later episode.
At the time, we didn't realize how close our settlement was to one of the 5 stones. we actually found we were right up against the one stone, the meadows here. We put behind this fence, and one of our residents decided to make it a cemetery. Anytime anyone dies that hasn't died, that hasn't buried in our cemetery, he makes sure that he gets one of their corpses and buries it in here, so we can have a cemetery plot of each and every person. So
Yeah, and right now I'm mousing over each one of those gravestones. You can see that there's basically different Dan, Victor, Steff, different animals that they've killed. They have a grave for each different type, basically. That's cool.
Anacondas, trolls, and even a unicorn. We haven't blocked access to this. This will open up for anyone coming through. And we maintain the 10 space border from it as far as our settlement goes.
And what Pete's referring to is there is a...
This used to be a hillside where Victor had things planted here to the left. He's since changed his whole area and dug it down and made it a almost a little town in itself. I'm going to let Victor go ahead and do that. This is the back entrance to our workshop. This is the first floor. You can see ladders at the four corners. This here is mostly storage of general items and our work area. You see a loom on the right, along with a forge and smelter and a kiln and a spinning wheel back there as well. We'll go up to the second floor. Because of the placement of this, we actually were able to build ride-in access to each level. We actually put 3 levels on this building, and the top 2 levels are storage. This is all wood storage here. All these bins have logs in it, everywhere from 0 quality all the way up to I think we have as high as 85 or even 90. I don't think we are all the way up to the high 90s yet, because nobody has that skill level. Here you can see the backside of our garage. We have individual pens set up for each garage so that you can unmount your horse and put it into the individual pens, so that you don't have to go over to the corrals and find your horse each time you need to hook them back up. Right now we're all out working on some other areas, so we don't have anything in this area. We only keep it populated whenever we actually are working out of the lakeside.
And I was going to say that your 3rd level on your workshop is new. I think last time I was here, you only had the 2nd level. So that's a nice, cool addition.
Yeah,
3
this
levels.
is... I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I was just saying 3 levels.
Yeah, this level here, we specifically have rock shard.
Yeah, we had dirt here at one point too.
There's still dirt in here. We keep sand, big bulk items. We'll have clay up here. We'll store clay up here, as well as bricks and things like that. And then you can see here we have about 10 crates of full of dirt as well. And it looks like we got to cut back some trees a little bit. They seem to be getting into the house. But one thing I didn't mention, on the second floor, we also have a storage for olive oil, so that that the uh, guards can keep off-deed lanterns full. We like using that. I haven't checked it in a while, so I'll have to check it to make sure, see how it is. Over here we have all the corrals. My wife likes to sort the horses by their colors, although they seem to be a little mixed up at the moment.
Now I changed it to ages, so that way if the ones that are older that are possibly going to be dying soon are in their own cage or corral, and that way I can keep an eye on them, and they're all in like a specific area.
And there's where we have our pigs. We actually have a food storage there. We put all our low quality and our old meats into that, and then we feed it to the pigs. The pigs like eating the meat. In fact, if another pig dies, you'll come in and you'll see them all eaten up by the other pigs.
That's funny.
Further up above, we have corrals for sheep. We got a few black sheep in there. Actually, we got quite a few. What are these horses? These horses are venerable horses, right? Yeah, it looks like one's down. And then we have our cattle area here. I thought we had some bison in here. Are they down on they're in the lower corral? Yeah, down with the horses. Then we have our practice range here for archery, different distances for the different bows. Yep, he waved at us.
Yeah, the tower guard just waved at us.
And across the way there to the left, you can see Stephanie's little church that she built for her faux religion. This pit. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I remember seeing that chapel, a screenshot of the chapel, but I never knew where it was until now.
We'll head over there. To the right here, this used to be a massive pit. My brother dug it deep. It was all the way down to water. In fact, it was here naturally when we first got here, and he dug it wider and deeper, and then we've ended up filling it in after he left. You can also see here there's also a peat area up here. A massive peat area stretches across a pretty large area here. It separates us from the Cosmos mountain. What's that? Cosmo World mountain across the way. Used to be a deed that was over that way. It was called Cosmo World, but that deed has been pruned off. Now we'll head over here to Stephanie's little chapel. A little further north here, you have the water side. This is the northern edge of our area here. You can see down to the right there is the water. Do you still have your faux altar in here, babe?
I don't know if I ever made a actual altar. I'd have to check all that. I do a lot more meditating with the rug in there. So
if you look inside, you can see she has some pews in there. You want to stop and go inside, or just go
Sure.
by?
We can pop in
Okay.
real quick.
And she even built a little bell tower there, although I don't think there's a bell in there.
Not yet, right?
Nope, not yet.
Steph's chapel.
Another distinctive feature that we built onto our area was a lighthouse. Because most people would be coming from the north when they came down, we wanted a lighthouse that faced north. And you can see it here in front of me. Not too clear to see it. You'll be able to see it better as we get further away. In any case, Victor went ahead and put some lanterns up there that you can see quite a far distance with them. Now, it doesn't look like I can get into the fence. Back when we had the seal explosion, Stephanie wanted to have a couple seals. And we had them in here, but it looks like they've all passed on. When we built our canal, if you look behind us, you can see the opening, the eastern opening to our canal there. It's a canal wide and deep enough to allow canoes and NARS through. Our plan is to eventually, and we made it wide enough to eventually allow all ships to pass, but for the moment it's not capable of that.
That's the canal Pete's talking about. We're standing right here right now on the map, and we're looking.
We also built a access to the tunneling that Dan had started under his area right here at the right south of the lighthouse. And so we have an access to that there. Victor is our miner, so he does most of the mining around here.
This was the lighthouse.
Stephanie has a special spot here, and she put a little tapestry up to kind of make her feel special.
It is. No, it's for when I'm meditating. It's my special spot where surrounded by flowers. It's part of the foe's qualities.
Desires, her desires for a special spot or the flowers, what have you. And she has this tapestry here to remind her what she's supposed to do here. We also have a practice dummy area, so you can practice your weapon skills here as well. Your melee weapons. Ah, there's your altar right there.
Yeah, unfortunately, once you plant an altar, you cannot move them. So that's why I have not moved it from there to the church.
Looks like we got one bison left up here, and then here's Stephanie's chicken area here, chicken pen. You can see she has one little peep down inside there, and a couple eggs are in there as well. So, and we do have a clay pit there in addition. So. And that dark area that you see, that little peninsula there, is our garden. Whenever we're growing stuff, that's where we grow it all at. And we have a little basin there as well that we can grow rice and other type of water plants.
Here.
That's our modest little house. It's a 2-story, and we put a nice little tower on it that we could look around. Of course, not to be outdone by Victor's tower over there, is spear in the sky, or spire in the sky, but he'll show you that later.
Excuse me. But I don't think you remodeled your first house since the beginning, right?
No, we the only thing we haven't done anything with it in quite a while. This is exactly the way we built it. There's nothing special inside. We got a couple food storage bins. We got a larder and a few other storage places as well. Some barrels. Upstairs, we got a handful of beds up there. That's about it. Uh-oh, I lost my horse. Oh well, I'll have to pick him up later. We also have the oven there too for cooking. That's where our token is there. And our little mailbox and bulletin board. This area right here is actually where we started. In fact, that raft, one of those rafts there, was one of the first things I ever built. So, and we have another clay pit here, which we don't use very often anymore.
Have those rafts always been underwater, or is it because they decayed a bit?
No, they're probably just sitting there. I think it's a matter of where they're placed. They just kind of sit on the bottom. If it was a little deeper there, they'd come to the top. But yeah, they're on the bottom, I guess, because it's so shallow. You want to just look around our area and go over to the canal?
Sure.
All right. So yeah, this was the first bridge we built. Victor did most of it. I helped a little bit here and there, but he did most of this here. And then this road here was actually the very first road I ever built. Just wanted an access up the hill ways. I built it about halfway up, and then all the way up to the hill, top of the hill. This is a little church that I built for my alternate. He's a priest. He's a Lenara priest, so he's got his little altar in there and a bed. That's about it. The little access road here runs along the water, goes over to Victor's tunnels over there, and I'm sure he'll show you those. We have basically started our own little oak forest here. We initially planted 1 or 2 trees, and now we probably have about 30 plus oak trees in here now. I actually saw some new growth down over the hill to the right there. I also started a little sand pit here because I needed some place to make sand. One of the interesting things about this section of the road, there's about 5 tar pits between here and in the mountain to the north. But initially I had this road come up this far and make a left because we were actually mining up in this mountain, up in the upper area up here. Before I realized that it didn't matter what level you mined at, it was always going to be the same regardless. And then we kind of stopped mining up this way. But initially I had to build a road up across this smaller mountain to get to the large one here. This used to be this used to be completely clear here of trees, and just through the time these walnut trees have all grown up. And then this place to the left actually used to be all full of dirt. It was just a little tiny valley that looked down over the whole place. We'll go down there in a second. But that road to the right, as well as this road here, used to lead right into caves. But you can see they've caved in now, and in fact, with Victor's digging down below, we don't even worry about opening them back up here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is another great example of one of the things I like about this game, is how through the player and the server itself changing, because I remember when this place used to be just completely empty, it was just grassland, and now you play it with oak trees, and of course the walnut trees came back on its own also.
Yeah, we can't get rid of the walnut trees. They're everywhere around here. What's funny is that you can't find them at all at the north, so we took a bunch of them up north and planted them, and now you go up to that area and it's crazy with the small area where it's planted, and it's really dense with walnut trees now. But this is the point which you can look down over Lakeside here. Very nice view. You can see all that Victor's doing and our place beyond that. Pretty nice view up here.
Good timing also with the two moons in the distance.
Very true. I would have bet that this really small one's up there too if we got higher. Maybe we'll go up here and we'll see it. I don't know if we can get up this or not. Nah, looks like not. We'll try one last time. But typically when you see two of them, there's the little tiny third one in there too.
Haven.
Anyway, we'll head over, show you the road I have built running north from here. Yeah, we actually, this mountain behind us we call Twin Peaks. You can't tell from here, but it's actually has two peaks on the top of it that are kind of split in half that you can actually, I've actually gone up and crossed over the mountain, come down the other side. But you're still pretty high up there. And through those peaks you can actually access both peaks from that valley in between the two. Even with all these oak trees up here, we still can't keep the walnut trees at bay. They're still creeping their way in. So we built the road here to the northwest and cut it down towards the valley here, and this is where we started the canal, cutting through this area here, and then built a bridge across it. We'll go out onto the bridge and then we'll cut back down to that canal to the left there. Yeah, it looks like all my walls are decaying pretty bad here, 60 plus. You can tell because the yellowing is indicates that it's 60. You can see here I haven't cut through all the way to make it 3 wide like most ships require, but you can still fit a NAR through there. You can see there's the second tar pit. I'm not going to go down this road, but this road takes you down to the rock face where we found a couple deposits of lead and tin, which both of those are rather difficult to find. So we specifically made the road down there, and that's where we get the lead and tin from. You need lead to make larders nowadays, and I've actually brought people from the other end of the map to have them get enough lead to make a larder.
That's nice.
I also built this road here along the length of the canal so I could have easier access to work on the canal. Yep.
Yes, his wife has did the wood planking here. Makes it seem like you're more on a boardwalk than stone.
Although you can see it's kind of fallen through a couple places. We need to do some maintenance. You can see across the way the main access to the tunnel actually caved in, and it must have spawned a deposit because we had to dig one next to it. I didn't check to see if there was a deposit there, but so we had to dig a new one in order to get in there and get some lead. We actually, in order to, when we made these canals through, there was actually a lake that ran basically the length of this boardwalk. And we connected, when we come through here, that's what we connected. We connected the two small lakes that run, that are in between the large seas, and that's what we used to dig the canal through.
So what Petrina is
When
saying,
I first finished this area, we had an explosion of seals everywhere. Wasn't sure why that occurred, but now they seem to have all left or died off. We built a little access road here. I was going to try keeping it down by the canal, but I found it was easier just to go up over top of the hill and back down the other side. I have a nice little viewing port here. Eventually you'll be able to watch ships go by. I picture people standing up here while they're watching the big ships go by.
that'll be fun.
Yep.
Gotta get rid of that annoying walnut tree in the way though.
Very true. Yeah, they're everywhere. Interesting, this area here had a lot of willow trees. And we found the first couple times we came down here, we got attacked by spiders coming out from underneath the willow trees. They can hide predators quite well. That and bears and different things like that. We introduced Robin to this area, and she's been building like mad, so you can see how much she's done. This is a really nice area for building. It's nice and flat. It's a nice little basin type area. And off in the distance, you can see way further back, you can see access directly to stone walls that you can build, that you can dig mines into. You can see all the way back there. So we'll go down and see Robin, see how she's doing. But I made this road all the way through here. And right down below us to the right is where the second lake was. It was much smaller than the first. And you can see here, this is the western, beyond this water to the left is the western continent. So now we have access, much easier access to the western continent by going through our canal here. And I built another bridge here, as you can see. And again, I have it prepared for eventually making it 3 wide and deep enough to fit larger ships through, but I have yet to do that. Yeah, on the edges you do that. The road stops there, but Robin plans to make access up to it eventually. We'll go down and see how she's doing. That's pretty much all I have of the tour. If you want to stay on here, Whisper, and talk with Robin for a while and see her settlement of goblins hollow, you're welcome to do that.
Are you guys getting ready to take off?
We were thinking we gotta head back. We got some things to pick up and head back to our town. Although I want to check out this place a little bit, see what all Robin's done. I thought about asking her to join the alliance as well.
That sounds good.
If you feel like inviting her, you're welcome to.
No, you guys know her better. But yeah, I'm just gonna preview her place, and I'll probably come back and do a full, more substantial tour. But yeah, we'll just kind of do like a preview on your cart right now.
All right. Well, certainly it's not ready to display. She's got a lot of building to do yet, by the looks of it here. She's got a long way to go, and it's come quite a ways just since I dropped her off here. Yeah, a week ago. She's really done a lot. I think she's really excited about it too. All right.
Sneak up on her.
Maybe we'll go back real quick before we and check out the back area before we stop and talk to her.
Looks like she's already started breeding the horses. I see a little jet black one and a little gray one.
Okay, it looks like this might be... Oh, no, this is where she's building her mine. Cool. We'll leave that to you and her whenever you guys want to go down there. Not sure where she's going to eventually build access up to her road at, but... looks good so far. I'm impressed.
Yeah, she's only been here a few days, I think.
Yeah, she started this one right before you started the map Sunday night. So this week's map shows her thing, and so I don't think she's even been here a week yet.
Hello, how are you?
Hello. Hello.
I think she's ignoring us. There she goes.
She's like, where did all these people come from?
Hello. Hello.
I don't know if I can invite her to the thing. Only mayors can invite her.
And in order for me to, I am actually the mayor, and that was bestowed of me, so that way I was able to name each and every one of the animals that were was branded in my settlement.
I just sent her a message in Alliance chat. Are you still recording, Whisper?
I am.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, we just she is now part of our alliance.
Well, the other possibility is you could go back with us, and we can bring you back through on Nanar, if you'd like to do that.
You mean go up north?
No, bring you back through the canal in our Nar.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
So why don't you go ahead and stop recording here? We'll head back, and then when we get to the Nar, we can record again.
It's okay. You can continue.
Alrighty. Go ahead and let her know what we're doing, Steph. And we'll come back through with our Nar. You can let her know that Actually, why don't you tell her, Whisper, that you're doing like a video recording? Just kind of doing a little tour of the high points of the server. It's hard to type and steer the card at the same time. Interestingly enough, I've got quite a few bridges on my roads, and of all the bridges on my roads, I've only built the majority of one of them. Somebody else has built most of the bridges on my roads to this point. Either my brother or Steff. Steff's built quite a few of them.
I've actually also paved quite a few of the roads. Now, Petrina has actually built them and leveled them and stuff like that, and then I come in behind and I pave everything for him.
But you could see all the walnut trees there. Oh man. They're like weeds. They just go everywhere.
It's funny because over at Torga Prime, chestnut is our problem.
Yep. Yeah, at least walnut's easier to get around than chestnut. They're such an ugly tree, too. Actually, before we do that, let's go up the road a little bit. Do you want to do a little bit of the road tour, or do you want to get on the boat first?
Let's do the boat first.
Sounds good.
I feel like this is still part of Lakeside. I would like to include on this video, and then going north will probably be a separate video.
All right. What I might suggest is we'll bring your horse with us, and then if you'd like, you can jump out at Goblin Hollow there and talk with Robin. Up a little further north, there's actually a goblin's den or spawn point lair, whatever you want to call it, that spawns diseased goblins, and I'm sure she found at least one or two in that basin where she is building, and that's probably a big reason why she called it that. Looks like I need to cut some trees back up here as well. Overgrowing my road a bit. But I like having the bridges nice and high so that the boats can go, the ships can go under without any interference of the bridge. Even if it is just a graphics thing, I like the trying to do the reality of it. So even though this is not a reality.
Yeah, I'm the same way. That's why I usually, well, I was gonna say, I don't like how the trees will clip through solid walls on our buildings, so that's usually why I have like bushes around my buildings, and I don't have trees right next to my buildings, so I'm trying to eliminate the clipping.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Breaks the illusion of a solid wall.
We have that up at the inn that we're staying in up north up at Cherry City, the Cherry Inn up there, we have a lot of small growth vines and bushes and stuff like that growing around.
Yeah, unfortunately, another reason to be thinking about wrapping up this video is because the light is starting to get bad.
Yeah, and you don't want to have a video too long. If there's one thing I've noticed, that a lot of people do like little 10-minute videos, and that's as long as they make them, and then they break it and they start a new one. Even if it's continuation, they break it and say, okay, this is where we're going to stop. On to the next.
But you can see the lighthouse light up now.
Yeah, it's really bright in there. I'm not sure the type of lanterns or lights that he uses in there, but they look really cool.
I think he uses bronze braziers.
That sounds about right. Not sure if you have some food or if you need some, but I got some in. If you look in the cart, there's a chest that says Petrina on it.
I'm okay. I don't have access to the cart though.
Oh, okay. Well, you want to jump in the boat then? You want to do that next?
Okay.
Might be a good time to break the video here if you... I don't know. Just a thought. I'm eating at the moment. Go ahead, you can eat now. It's in the large chest that says Petrina on it.
Yeah, I don't have access to the cart itself.
How about to the north?
Okay, yep.
Okay, jump in the Nar whenever you're ready. Did you want to take your horse with you, Whisper?
Oh, it's okay. I can run back.
Okay. We'll do a quick little boat tour up to the bridge and show you that real quick, and then we'll do the canal.
Okay, I'm in.
Okay, here we go. So, before we head out, before we head through the canal, I wanted to show the our Nagasaki, or I'm sorry, Hayasaki Bridge. My apologies. You can see the lighthouse real good from here to the right. One of the things that hasn't changed too much was this hill that was to our left here. has always been covered with cedar. When we dug out the canal, we had lots of dirt, so we ended up building a bridge across here. But we wanted it high enough that the ships could pass under without any type of collision on the mast area. So we made the bridges high enough that you wouldn't have any collision whatsoever, even with the highest ships. I think it took us longer to dump all the dirt in here than it did to actually build the bridge.
I believe that. My experience has always been it's harder to do the foundation work than the actual bridge itself.
But it looks really nice. I would have liked to have made it, now that they have the new marble bridges, it would have been nice to do the marble bridge. I think that would have been really sharp looking, but it looks pretty good. Got some lights up there to kind of brighten it up. Interestingly enough, the idea for this area to be called the Hayasaki Straits and the Hayasaki Bridge came from the fact that the settlement that you can see straight ahead of us is called Nagasaki. And I went on the map of Japan, and a strait called Hayasaki was just to the south of Nagasaki. So it seemed appropriate to call this Nagasaki Strait.
That's funny.
Little geography lesson for you there. The mountain beyond there, we kind of decided to call it Palmer Mountain. Just a little inside joke. I won't go through it. We'll swing around and see how the road connects to the bridge here. I'll show you that bridge real quick too. I actually haven't seen that bridge from the water before, so this will be something new for me as well. We seem to be almost sailing into the wind, so we got some pretty low wind speed at the moment.
There, now you're able to see the lighthouse, and that's the reason why we put it where we did, so you could see it when you're sailing south.
Yeah, it's one of the first features you see of Lakeside as you're coming in. If you look ahead of us, straight ahead, you can actually kind of see the twin peaks of our Twin Peak Mountain up ahead of us.
1, 2.
It's best viewed from either directly south or directly north of the mountain. We're kind of northeast of it at the moment, so. And look, a mountain full, or a hillside full of walnut trees. Wonderful.
How's that? You kind of cut off.
Oh, we're coming back to see the access to the bridge from the main part of the road. You can see back here, what is actually on the ground is not the road, but it's an under paving of a wooden bridge that goes through. And unfortunately, I think all the trees are going to block our view. We're not going to be able to see the bridge from here.
That one is my wooden trestle.
Yeah, it actually is quite high for such a short bridge. It's pretty high.
Yeah, that tree's blocking it, but I can mouse over it. If you mouse over, you can see that there's something there. Oh, there's a foundation.
But we found that to keep the trees from growing up through it, especially these cedar trees, we had to pave a space on each side to keep that from happening. So. You can see all along here, you can see the foundation of my road, the sand that runs the borders of the road all the way north and south, and a troll.
Let's kill it!
There's one of the many tar pits along my road. For a while I was calling it Tar Pit Road. There was a time where we, to get past this area, we actually come down and rode right along the coast here and tried to make our way through, and it was really tough. And now we got a road through, and it's worlds easier to get through.
I see a red canoe.
Yeah, I was just noticing that.
And here's the entrance to our, the eastern entrance to our canal here. You can see as you come out the canal, you'll see, the first thing you'll see is the lighthouse. And there's our first bridge way above us there. That's the main road running north there. Eventually, as I said, I plan to widen this to 3 wide. At this point, it's only 1 square wide.
So what Petrina was talking about earlier was, if you look at the in-game map, you can see originally there's these two lakes here, and here. And what he did was, we're right here right now on the map, he used these two lakes,
There is a seal to the right.
built canals across it.
You can't really see it too well, but there's a source fountain back in behind us too, to our right.
Yeah, it's hiding behind the trees there, along with this old seal.
To the left is our access road that I built, and you can see the dock area that we paved. There's the access to the cave with the lead and the tin in it. And this again was the first lake of the two that I connected together to form the canal.
Right here. First lake. And so you can see this is the lake, and then Petrina built a canal connecting here, here, and here. So we're like right here right now.
It looks like Robin's extended her deed pretty far here. Comes out even across the road. But all this dirt that we pulled out of here, we ended up using for the bridge across the Hyasaki Strait.
So this was a lot of work, as you can imagine.
I really like the willows, the way they along the water side here. I think they look really nice. I hope she leaves them up. One of the more interesting things I've come to find as I build my roads is the roads noise of building the roads scares away most creatures, but the ones that seem to stay around are the pigs and the wild boars. Anytime I'm building a road, there's always pigs around, and I'm almost always come across an adolescent wild boar. Oftentimes the pigs will actually scare me because I'll be working on the road, and next thing I know, I hear something coming up behind me, and sure enough, it's a pig. I think they're drawn to the noise or drawn to the digging, maybe. Okay, Whisper, we're out the other side now. Do you want to ride around anywhere or just head back? We can go down and see the entrance to Vinny's cave if it's still open.
I think so. I can see the sailboat there. So what's your plan from here? Are you guys going to head north from this side of the water, or are you going to cut back across?
We're going to head back across. We have to get some things from Lakeside before we head out. We have to load Steff's cart back up.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to stay in the cart until then.
You mean the boat?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm going to stay in the car until then.
Okay, this is the other end of Vinny's tunnel.
So, did you
He
notice?
also has it about halfway through heading south to connect up to that waterway. That's actually going to be the more important one. This one here is going to be just a double of my canal, so you can see he does have a single access point coming out, comes up over the road and then heads south. So looks like he's brought a NAR over here for sailing around this area. Further south you'll find a bridge that's heading across. We're not going to go down there tonight, but about another 5 minutes down is a large bridge. It's still yet incomplete, but 2/3 of it is built to cross over to the mainland on the western continent. It actually was built by a character that does not seem to be active at this point.
I'm assuming you're talking about Ludi.
That's correct. Yeah, I couldn't remember his name. My thought is to connect the corner of our road, which is right there to our right, down here to Victor's tunnel entrance, so that it can continue on down the road to the south and down to the bridge. But that's just one of the many plans I have. At one point, there were, about the same time we had all the seals, we had bunches of unicorns up in these hills. But I think they've kind of gone to the wayside as the seals have. We might find one or two still in there, but I think they're kind of died off, like the seals have.
Yeah, right now our working theory is they're dying off and they're being replaced by bison and lava spiders.
Yep, seen a lot of lava spiders recently. We saw Stephanie actually got chased by a what was that, champion lava spider not too long ago. The thing was huge. It was bigger than her cart.
It is. The picture is on Discord.
Yep. But go ahead.
I'm sorry. I had to have some assistance with the spirit guards with him. I had already fought something else, and I was going down on health, so I called upon the spirit guards to help me with that one.
And again, here's Robin's settlement. She's building quite well.
But since we're heading back, I'm going to go ahead and stop the video. I want to thank you two for helping me record and showing us around your village and surrounding areas.
Yeah, sorry it wasn't a little faster or a little more exciting. This is not a real exciting game, so...
Oh, it's slow paced, and I mean, this isn't an action recording. This is a let's play and a tour, so I appreciate you guys helping me.
Well, it's our pleasure.
Yep. Yeah, you'll have to check up all the bridges and the roads further north, but I think you can handle those. You do have to, when you get to the bridges that are the ones that go up the hill, farther up past Mount Palmer, you got to go down below and see the access down below, because I really made that kind of a production to see the underside of the bridge. And you go down and look at it, you'll see. It's really nice to see the big arching bridges and down underneath. So